Before we jump into this episode, I want to take a moment to tell you about the upcoming Texas Woodworking Festival, a 2-day celebration where makers and enthusiasts come together to share their passion for the craft. Join us for a weekend filled with creativity, community, and inspiration. You'll meet tool manufacturers, furniture makers, woodworking clubs, content creators, and more, all in one place with great food and drinks, and of course, all things woodworking. It all takes place in Austin, Texas on September 26th and 27th. The festival features an education track on both Saturday and Sunday, where you'll have a chance to learn from masters of the craft. Plus, there's also a special pre-conference content creator track on Friday, September 25th. Head to TexasWoodworkingFestival.com for more details and to grab your tickets. Use code MWAP10 to get 10% off your tickets. I'll drop a link in the show notes. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, there's something for everyone at the Texas Woodworking Festival. Don't miss it. Hi, I'm Kyle, and on this episode of the MWA podcast, Sean and I are asking Peter Follansbee the 5 questions. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out Peter's interview on episode 616. So welcome back to the show, Peter.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. I think about your 5 questions. I can think of this, the Holy Grail guy. What's your favorite color?
What is your favorite color? The air-laden, what is the air-laden weight of a swallow?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Don't ask me those questions.
Yeah, those are not the questions. You're fine.
Those are not the questions.
All
well,
right.
Before we get into the questions, let's dip our toes in the woodworking news. So there's not a lot happening out this summer except at Lost Art Press. And as we mentioned, they have Peter's new book, The 17th Century Essex. I cannot say that word. Cupboard. But anyway, check that out. And while you're checking that out, you might also check out their latest book, which is Smalls. It's 18 well-designed, easy projects for an afternoon in the workshop. So this is one of their small book series, and basically a small book series about smalls. So basically, it's like 18 little projects that you can make out of little pieces of wood that are too good to throw away. And it's an interesting book. It's got the physical book. I think, like I said, it measures 4 inches by 6.5 inches, and it has 176 pages. So, if you got those little things, and some of the projects in here, as you're thumbing through them, are just excellent, and it's very nice. And if you also get Peter's other book about carving and stuff, you could actually carve some of these small pieces.
Yeah,
there you go.
Pieces.
So anyway, so that's there, and it's $25, and looks absolutely fantastic. The next thing is from Lost Art Press, and for many of y'all know that they've been diving into making some work clothes, clothes for the shop and stuff like that. And he has a new joiner work shirt, and it's made in Cincinnati, and it's made out of fine material. And it comes at a fine price.
Yes, it sure does.
Which is $220 for the work shirt. I love you, Chris. I love what you do. But boy, if I wore a shirt that expensive in the shop, I don't know if I could do anything in the shop, because I'm going to get glue on it. I'm going to do something.
I think that's the intention, though, that it's going to last the whole time. This is meant to be...
I understand.
Worn and abused in a certain way.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's made out of tough materials, and he does the stuff, but something, my cheap little $15-$20 t-shirts barely last, without getting, caked in epoxy glue, and hell, some of the stuff I do metal shaving. So, it's, I don't know. But anyway,
we'll see that. I wonder if that is,
it's a beautiful looking shirt though. And it's got all kinds of little pockets to hide your stuff, hide your stuff. make your stuff, little squares and stuff accessible without them, just sticking out and, stuff like that. And falling out when you bend over and stuff. So
I appreciate the inspiration. There is a use case for that. It may not be with me.
Yeah. Well, the only thing here working in my shop, even though it is air conditioned, I could not wear a long sleeve shirt. That's why I can't wear an apron. I wear one of those, what is it, Texas Heritage, what they call nail apron, which is
it's just like a hip apron instead of over your shoulder, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that would get way too hot to wear here. But hey, I appreciate it, and I'm going to be interested in Handworks if he has some of those there because I'd like to take a look at them. So anyway.
Yeah, I bet he will. Actually.
Yeah. Can I go out in the town with them? That would be the thing I would.
Really?
I'd want to pick one up.
Fashion to.
Well, if I can hide where you would hide the square, if I can hide like a flask in there or something,
Okay. All right.
But anyway, so that is interesting. Now, moving right along, woodpeckers. Nothing from woodpeckers that's new except for their website, and they've updated their website, which is it's pretty nice. It's a lot nicer than the old website. We give woodpeckers a lot of hell on this show sometimes.
Yep.
But their website is really nice. One of the interesting things that they have on it is they have a little tab that says on sale. So you can get today's deals, and you can also buy closeouts of stuff that they're closing out at a real nice discount. And also at a real nice discount, they have some open box and used stuff. So, it's
good on them. I mean,
yeah,
they're obviously trying to, get rid of some overstock,
yeah.
but that's nice. Very nice.
And they also have a 10% off your first order. So that's not bad either.
Well done, Woodpeckers. Cleveland-based company. Yeah. They're doing good work on modernizing and getting it out to the people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, with that, let's thank our patrons. So who do we have to thank this week?
Yeah, we always like to give that shout out to our Patreon supporters. Today, that particular shout out goes to Morgan Grove. Thank you, Morgan, for helping out the show and for having a simple name. If you would like to join Morgan, you can do that by going to patreon.com/MWA podcast and help us out there.
Yeah, thanks so much, Morgan. Yeah, he texted me about my soaking setup that I had. So
yeah, perfect.
That's nice, and
great.
He's a real great guy. He does a lot of forestry, and I think he's a forester by background, and he does a lot of great stuff. He was on the podcast about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So,
Yeah.
Well, so Peter, you ready for your 5 questions?
Let's say that I am.
Okay,
wonderful.
First up, what's your favorite tool? And as always, our limit is 23.
Your limit is 23. What? 23 tools?
Exactly.
How the hell that's not a favorite then?
It's usually it's kind of like the idea of like your favorite at the time. That's what the idea is. It's not like I only use this tool. It's not like recently this thing has been the most useful, the most inspiring, or something thereof.
Well, all right.
Although you have probably used the same tools for the last 40 years, so
yeah, that's close to true. Well, there's 2 tools in the shop that are it can't really be replaced, and they are absolute perfection. People often think I'm exaggerating when I say about them. They're axes, they're hatchets that I got from Alexander. They have story that goes with them, but they're made in Germany in the early part of the 20th century and were for sale at Woodcraft in 1971 for $12 and change. And but by 1979 or 80, Woodcraft had them in a box and was giving them to Alexander and Langsner as payment for lectures. Oh, you came up and you gave a talk here. Why don't you pick something out over here and stuff? And they both picked out axe heads out of this box. And so some of them came to me from Alexander. And they're side hatchets. They're beveled only on one side.
Yeah.
For hewing flat stuff. And they're the best. They're the best tools I own.
Do you know the origin of them? Are they Swedish?
Made in Germany.
Germany.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. By a company called Fuchs, Fuchs, which is fox. It's got a little fox on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're still around today. Yeah.
Okay, they are.
Not making tools.
Not making tools. I've heard the okay, maybe they're making something else.
These hatchets, you almost never see them come up for sale. I saw, every now and then I search for them just out of curiosity because I don't need another one. And and unfortunately, mostly what I get is me when I search about them. But now and then you'll find one on eBay or on German eBay and stuff. There was one I saw in Germany that sold very cheap not too long ago, within the past 3 years or so, but they wouldn't ship it to the U.S.
Oh.
And, but I've seen them in the U.S. go for north of $700.
Oh my God!
Wow.
And,
so the ones you have,
but it's because I said this is the best.
The best.
Yeah, there you go. You inspired that.
But it is the best there is, and Drew Langsner has agreed with me.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
How much sharpening have you done, and how much less tool is there since you got it? Like, have you shortened this thing by inches?
Yeah,
at this point?
I mean, it's an axe.
Yeah.
Just hewing pieces, so it isn't a finished surface, but you got to keep it sharp or you'll work too hard. No, you can't wear it. It's all still there. I've had them since probably before 1994.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's imperceptible how much is gone.
And you said you got, did you get the heads or did you get the whole tool, or have you rehandled them, or?
I put the handles on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. I think I saw a Substack you did on them. I think they're slightly curved, right?
I wrote about them just recently. Yeah. Because a friend of mine was selling one that came out of the same box but was French, not German, and so, but it's a very similar hatchet.
Interesting. All right. So next question then. Who has influenced you the most?
Well, boy, that I had touched on that in the interview. I was telling you about that book I'm writing.
Yeah.
About the people who taught me, and as I thought about your question, the obvious or the easiest answer is Alexander, because we were in so much contact. We worked so closely together for such a long time.
Right.
But I think I probably should bump it over to Drew Langsner.
Okay.
Because all the people that are so important to me, Drew is one of them himself, but I met them all through him. Alexander and O'Hagan and Curtis and Billy Sundquist, all these people I met through Drew and Louise running their school for country workshops for all those years. They ran that for 40 years before retiring. Yeah. And So Drew probably influenced me the most, some of it directly, but some of it just by exposing me to these other people.
Right. Did you ever meet John Brown? Because I know he taught there.
I didn't meet John Brown because he happened there at the wrong time for me. Because what happened, once I went into making oak furniture, I had tunnel vision, and I didn't make a Windsor chair for 30 years.
Yeah.
I made 50 Windsor chairs or 45 Windsor chairs, and then stopped cold and didn't make them for 30 years. And Alexander's ladderbacks I didn't make for nearly as long. And because I literally had blinders. I only saw oak furniture. So I saw John Brown's book and got it and enjoyed it. And when he first came to Drew's, I thought about going, but I had a niece who was getting married right then, and I had to be at her wedding. I think John came another time, but it just wasn't on my radar then.
Okay.
Too fixated,
Yeah, just curious, because he seems like he was a real character too.
Yeah. Drew has told me the legend.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Windsor, that's a nice Windsor. It looks like you're sitting in right now. So.
Well, that's Curtis's big comb back. Remember?
Okay. Yes.
The first one he did a video series on.
Right.
And so as I said, I made Windsor chairs and then had a long hiatus. And a friend of mine, one day I was visiting a friend of mine, he said, I got something I want to show you. And it was something he bought at an estate sale, and it was a continuous arm settee. And he pulled it out and looked at it, and I made it. And it's initialed underneath. Yeah. So, and the first thing that came into my mind was I couldn't make that. And I didn't like that. That bothered me. And so I set out to relearn it. And I wrote to Galbert and said, don't stop. Because if you stop and you got to relearn it, it's hard. And a lot of things had changed in all those years. And so I made a bunch of warm-ups, and Curtis came out with his democratic chair, and I made some of those, and I worked my way up to this one. I made this one about 2 years ago.
Okay.
But the best thing I got out of this one was Dave Fisher then did a drawing of it for me.
Oh, nice.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Yeah, Dave's quite the artist.
Dave is nuts.
Yeah.
It's on the back of a package of like Oat Bran or something. But it's just a fabulous. He had seen I posted a photograph of it, and he did that.
Oh, that is lovely. Oh,
Phenomenal.
Dave, I was talking to Dave this morning.
yeah, nice.
He's fascinating.
Yeah, he is a great guy. So well, that kind of brings us to the next question. So what is your white whale, the one thing you haven't made but always wanted to?
I don't know about always one, but I thought about this just recently. I've been doing some work with a person I've never met from Hungary. And I have no idea how to pronounce his Hungarian name. It is Tamás Kiencs, and I'm sure I'm making a mess out of that. And he does in Hungary what I do. He studies the old chests and uses the old tools and reproduces them. And those chests are made out of beech, and they're made with about 5 or 6 tools, and they're riven beech. So all the pieces are shaped like a clapboard. They're tapered and pie-shaped and cross-sectioned, and the tongue and grooved together, and then carved all over. Just the craziest things. I was just writing a little snippet about them that'll be on my blog soon. So I'd like to make one of them. I first saw them about 15 years ago in a publication that came out in Germany, and there's hundreds and hundreds of these surviving in Hungary and Romania. And this fella Tamás has been studying them for 20 years and reproducing them. So I'd like to try to make one of those.
There you go.
There's no workbench. It's a shaving horse, a little like a riving brake on the ground, and 5 or 6 tools.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really something else.
Now, can you get the beech?
No, but there's a caveat. A few of them are made out of oak.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
I can't get beech like they get in the Carpathian Mountains.
Right.
He
No.
works just out of the world.
But oak, I mean, how comparable is oak to beech? I think isn't beech a little more?
It's finely grained and
forgiving, right?
It rots easier, and the bugs eat it faster.
Okay.
I think the notion, the riving, it's all radially ribbon, so it's just clapboards and shaved at a shaving horse and stuff. So should be able,
should be able to do it.
Should be able to do the steps.
Yeah.
I just saw only the second one I've ever seen in person. I just saw it last week. A friend of mine, and they end up here in like antiques fairs.
right.
Well, it's Chris Schwartz wrote a book where he makes them, but with sawn boards and modern tools. And that
The American Peasant book. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the artifact, but Tamás is doing it, old school.
Yeah, historically.
I'd like to try one, but I don't have any room for it, and I know I couldn't sell it because everybody's going to look at it. That thing is so weird.
Oh, we look forward to it when you do.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird sales sometimes.
All right.
So then next question, what is your number one tip for the fellow woodworker?
I don't know. One thing that I think about a lot, because I mentioned in the previous talk we had that for many years my livelihood was in the museum.
Mm-hmm.
Now my livelihood is in the shop. It's making stuff or writing about making stuff and that sort of thing. So don't get hurt. Stay healthy and don't get hurt, because if you do, then you're screwed.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Keep things nice and sharp.
That was also on my mind, but yeah.
But you've got a problem. Anytime, I'm struggling, sometimes it takes me a minute to remember, oh, knucklehead, the answer is sharpening. That's always the first answer. Maybe you should be sharper.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting question. So what is your sharpening regiment, so to speak?
These days, planes and chisels are waterstones,
Mm-hmm.
and axes, carving tools are oilstone, that sort of thing. For many years, my only electric tool was grindstone. I had a Tormek grindstone for a long time.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But now I told you I'd spent a lot of time with Galbert, and he turned me on to those CBN wheels and a high speed, well, low speed, but to me, high speed grinder.
Yeah.
So I converted to that just recently. And that's not in the shop, that's here in the house because the shop has no electricity. But I mean, uh, I sharpen planes a lot. I sharpen chisels now and then, and I carve all the time, and I hardly ever sharpen carving tools. And I just work with such good wood that honing them, stropping them keeps them in good shape. And every now and then I got to touch them up on a.
Yeah. Now, do you strop your plane blades and stuff too?
I don't usually, no,
Okay.
but I'm sloppy enough that I'd round it over. I think if I did.
Okay.
Where I'm planing a lot of green wood, I'm staining the crap out of my blades all the time with the green wood. So I got to clean them up and sharpen them every day when I'm using them. And so there's no need to strop them because I'm going to sharpen them again.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, we'll finish out the 5 questions with what's your go-to finish. I know we had some discussion that you don't like the finishing process so much, but so what do you use though?
Well, all right. So I made these Alexander chairs and stuff.
Yep.
And now on the internet, I see everybody painting these chairs. And Alexander never painted one.
Yeah.
And on those, I just used a thin linseed oil. And a number of years ago, working a lot with my Swedish friend Yoga Sundqvist, he turned me on to real good linseed oil.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to use the stuff from the hardware store.
That's all right. Well, it is shit that they sell.
It is. It's terrible. And I just didn't know. And I should have known. And so since I've been using more refined artist grade linseed oil, and these days with a citrus thinner and stuff, that's really nice. It's easy to do. And painting, I paint my carvings sometimes, paint the backgrounds or something, and that I mix mineral pigments, dry mineral pigments in that oil and thinner mixture, adding sometimes some Japan dryer, or go to an art supply store and buy some drying medium. 7th century, the way to get the linseed oil to dry was to add lead to it. And the lead is acicative and it dries the oil. That was one of the functions of lead in the paint. And that's not so cool these days.
Yeah.
No.
And not go that far. But so when I do painting, I tend to do oil painting with linseed oil.
Okay. So basically linseed oil paint is what you're using.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And otherwise, I stink at it. I don't have the patience for it. I've done a few of the milk paint numbers and stuff, and that's just too much work for me. It doesn't interest me enough to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that kind of patience. People used to mistakenly watch me working and think, "Oh, wow, you must have so much patience." And I'm the most intolerant person you meet today. And I have no patience whatsoever and stuff. I'm fast, and I like what I'm doing. So when you like it, you don't need patience, right?
That's right.
And painting a chair to me is misery. I hate it.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
You're a chair maker. You paint them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the drill.
I can relate. I haven't tried this new what is it? The fresh milk paint that seems to be all the rage that you make yourself. So I may try that. Supposedly that goes on a lot easier and doesn't
I look at what Galbert does, and it's gorgeous and it's stunning and stuff. But
it's a lot of work. It's basically the way I put it. I don't think it's quite the work of making the chair, but it's pretty close. Yeah. But yeah. Pete is like the king of the milk paint. His stuff is just gorgeous. Some of the finishes he gets, and that what was it, that big curve thing that Aspen and him worked on?
Yeah.
I mean, the that's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now that's up in your area, isn't it? It's at the
Boston Museum of Fine Arts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it yet, but I saw it in the shop. I didn't see it quite finished.
Mm-hmm.
Saw it assembled, but I didn't see it painted.
That's nice. Well, with that, Peter, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Let's see. The place I am the most is a Substack blog that we think is called Follansbee Substack.
Yes.
And an archive blog, essentially, that only once in a while gets updated. 1,500 blog posts, though. P. Follansbee at WordPress.com. And then a website that is Peter Follansbee Joiner. A few things happen there. Sometimes I sell some stuff that's in my loft taking up space, and I often will put that on that website and or on the Substack. But the Substack is where it happens the most, and free subscribers get to read half of it, but there's a lot of it, so half of it might be plenty. And paid subscribers get my sincerest thanks, and that's where I'm at.
All right. Well,
Wonderful.
fantastic. Well, it has been absolutely a pleasure to have you on the shows, and we really, really appreciate it. And we'll have to have you back when you get this new book out.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
I had a blast talking with both of you. And I don't know when that book will happen. I'm hoping maybe by the spring. And get what Chris and Megan say. I've written a lot of it. We'll see where it goes.
And that just about wraps it up for this show. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the show on the podcatcher of your choice. Just search for the Modern Woodworkers Association. And while you're there, please leave us a review. You can follow us on Instagram at MWA_podcast. And if you'd like to support the podcast, go over to patreon.com/MWA podcast. But the best thing you can do is tell a friend. Word of mouth goes a long way in sharing our discussion.